You were not ready to come back to studio, bro.
I'm ready now. Yeah. Now that
No,
the CDC...
you know why I know you're not ready to come back to studio?
What's that?
Because you're building this exact thing where you are.
Sort of.
So there's no reason. You have no reason to want to come back here.
I don't have room to have more than one person in my house, though. And I'd love to do the show in person, you know?
But when you do get your own place that you're working towards, you're going to have more room for at least two people.
Hold on. Let's on the count of three.
Oh, yeah.
1, 2, 3. Yeah, but like the thing is like that could be in 3 months or that could be in a year. Because I don't know, you know?
Well, here's the thing. I've been paying attention to shit that you say, Jake. Yeah. And if it doesn't happen in 3 months, it's not going to happen.
Well, it's going to happen eventually.
Yeah, but if it doesn't happen in 3 months, it's not going to happen because next year you're going back to school.
Right. Well, yeah. But
so essentially on the last show, you do realize that you pretty much started the Ellen DeGeneres time clock.
What does that mean?
Ellen DeGeneres came out about a month ago saying that her show is going to end.
She came out in the 90s, dude.
She came out a month ago with the news that she was stepping down from her show. Her show is going to end. You last week announced that you were returning to school. That was you giving the Ellen DeGeneres sign off. This show is going to end when you go back to school.
No. Because I'm only doing one class.
Oh, so that's not even school.
No. Yeah.
So you're just driving by this college campus. You're just driving by.
When I say I'm going back to school, I mean like I'm sort of going back to school because I have to like maintain my full-time job and shit, you know?
Oh, so you're not heading back up north? Because when you said, so I entered into negotiations to do another show by mistake is basically what you're telling me. Because I said, when we disconnected last week, I said, Jake just literally just said that he's going back to school.
GCC probably.
That means the show is over. Because there's no way that you'll be able to hold down a part-time job, part-time school, and do this show. So then I started shopping around and, updated my resume and shit to get on another show.
Trying to find another Jake.
I was trying to find another Jake, but no one could match the triple OG.
No, I'm just going to it like a community college. My goal is just at this point, just do like a class a semester until I get my associate's degree. Like I'm not going crazy, you know?
I'm full of a lot of love right now. It may be sexual love, but I'm full of a lot of love.
The purple that no one can see it. We have purple going on in our rooms.
Yeah. But I'm like, I don't know why. That's probably why I'm loving on you and complimenting you so much, which is really outside of my normal character. But I'm just full of passion and love right now. I would, if I was to go to a fast food drive-through right now, I would probably pay for the people's food in the car behind me. That's how full of love I am right now. And that's why I'm loving on you, which is not normal, business as usual.
Yeah, I'd like to pay for the people behind me. Hand up the card. Sir, that card was declined. Oh.
You poor soft-hearted bastard is what they'll say in the back room.
I guess I won't pay for the car in front of me. Actually, could you put it on their tab? Mine as well.
Can you charge them, sir? Sir, ma'am, or the other? Can you charge them, please?
Tell them I'll pay it forward next time.
But I am full. I am next time. Hey, put me on. Can I get an IOU on that Big Mac? An IOU, please. But I am kind of full of love. But I felt that you did the Ellen DeGeneres, Oprah Winfrey sign off because they always give like that notice that they're leaving their show, like, fucking 2 years before they do. And then when they leave, everybody's like, it's a big surprise. Well, Oprah told us that she was canceling her show like 4 years before she did. And now Ellen did the same thing. She's telling us 2 years before the show is over. So by the time the show actually ends, everybody's gonna be like, why didn't she tell us? Well, because we fucking forgot.
The only thing I enjoy in life is this YouTube channel. It's the only thing that keeps me going in life. So I wouldn't stop doing that. No way. Although, you know, in 6 months or 6 months to a year, whenever I start school, like, who knows? maybe we'll be signed to some, you know, I don't know what the big, like, YouTube things. It used to be like Maker Studio. Remember that stuff on YouTube?
No.
Like Maker Studio or like, whatever.
So you're saying there's a chance that I can still entertain the other contract offer?
Hey man, if they're offering you money, I would not get mad at you at all.
Oh,
what were they called? MCMs?
I only do this show for free.
That's true.
Oh, I'm sorry. I sounded really pig-headed on a day that I'm full of love. Love.
Yeah.
Love.
An MCN is a multi-channel network. It's an organization that works with video platforms to offer assistance to a channel owner in areas such as product, programming, funding. You've never heard of an MCN?
No. I've heard of MGM.
Oh, did you hear? We could talk about that in the show, actually, in the body. Yeah, I don't know. MCNs. I don't know. There was that big one, Maker Studio, and then it was bought by like Disney or something.
And that's where you want to go. You want to be swallowed up by some other platform or somebody else's label.
If they offered enough money, yeah. But
oh, so you can be bought, is what you're saying.
I definitely can be, but
let me go get my checkbook.
I definitely can be, but everyone who's ever worked for an MCN always says don't do it. So, but if you offered me $1 million, I'd probably do it.
I offered you $1 million. I'm sorry. I'm full of love and passion. So before this goes too far and gets really weird, how about we start the show?
5, 6, 7, 8. I stole it. What is up, boyos? Welcome to the Jake and Cory podcast. I am Jake. That is Cory. What is up, Cory?
I think essentially the CDC has ended the pandemic accidentally.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, they've accidentally ended it, and now they're like, oh shit, we accidentally ended it.
Everyone's like, hey, hey, Fauci, should we wear masks anymore? And he just sort of like shrugs his shoulder. I don't know.
Yeah, and knowing Fauci, when he shrugs his shoulder, I don't know about you, but I kind of hear like one of those Disney cartoon sound effects when he shrugs. It goes, you know, I just hear like it was, you know, that kind of sound effect. But I think that they essentially ended the pandemic by mistake. When they came out and said vaccinated people can stop wearing masks and stop social distancing, I think that was them saying the pandemic was over by not saying the pandemic was over, because now everybody's going to do one or two things. One, they're going to get vaccinated, or two, they're going to tell everybody that they're vaccinated so they don't have to wear masks. I don't see any more fucking mask on the streets anymore. Nowhere. And Arizona's only at 40% vaccination according to reports.
Is that true? Yeah, I'm still wearing my mask if I go out. Granted, I have been going like to hang out with friends more and stuff because we're all vaccinated and stuff. The CDC did say like, hey, if you're vaccinated, you're good.
How do you know for a fact that your friends have been vaccinated? This whole thing is based on something that we're not good at as America, the honor system.
Sure. I do trust my friends, but also if they're saying they're vaccinated and they're not, I mean, it's kind of on
them. They're the ones taking the risk. Yeah, they're the ones.
On them.
So with that being said, is that not essentially the pandemic being over? Because if you're vaccinated, you're good to go. If you're not vaccinated, you're taking the risk.
Yeah. I mean, at this point, the vaccine is so readily available. And if you haven't gotten your vaccine yet, it's like, dude, fucking get your vaccine. Just fucking get it.
But But how can the CDC, how can they, I don't really think they thought this out. I know this is good for people that are vaccinated, but I don't think they really thought this out. Because
go get vaccinated.
Because Americans, according to reports, there's like, we're at what, 20% of total Americans, 20% of the population is vaccinated. And that number is growing every day. People are getting vaccinated. Numbers growing every day. However, by them coming out and stating, I believe that what they were trying to do was they were trying to encourage people to get vaccinated. But the anti-vaxxers and people that are not going to get vaccinated are using it as the green light where, well, wait, you're telling me that if I don't get vaccinated, I still have to mask, but yet there's no legal ramifications for anyone that can legally come up to you and ask you for a vaccination because it's violation of Title 8, the HIPAA law?
Well,
so
okay,
it's like
there's a difference between, like, they can't require it, but they surely can ask you.
Yes, they can. You're right. There is some gray area there.
Yeah,
that's
not how HIPAA works. Yeah, HIPAA
that's very true. However,
they can definitely ask you. Yeah,
but if you're just walking into a gas station,
right,
the gas station attendant can't ask you, "Have you been vaccinated?"
I mean, they can. They can. You don't have to tell them.
But you're right. You don't. Again, there's so many gray areas, but I believe that why the CDC, and I'm glad that they did it, but it's just, I think that they pre-came. I think they preemptively ended the pandemic accidentally by lifting the mask and social distancing on people that are vaccinated. I thought when that news dropped, and this is a couple of weeks out, I thought when that news dropped, they were going to release the update of social distancing from 6 feet to 3 feet. I didn't realize that they were going to rip the fucking Band-Aid off.
I don't think it works like that. I don't think you could just like reduce. It's either 6 feet or no feet, right?
No, because there was a study that came out that said that the transmission of the virus in droplets was the same probability from a 6 feet distance as well as a 3 foot distance. So there was talk that the CDC was going to drop the social distancing down from 6 feet to 3 feet. That's what the buzz was online and on the blogs. And when they came out and said mask and social distancing done for fully vaccinated people, I thought that was the moment they were going to lower it from 6 feet to 3 feet, which would have allowed a lot of restaurants to restructure, would have allowed a lot of indoor activities to be restructured. But that's not what they did. They came out and literally said, free for all if you've got your shots.
Yeah, and I agree with you. It does seem a little hasty, at least in my opinion. I'm also not a scientist, so what the fuck do I know? But
neither am I.
Always have to make that caveat. But yeah, it does seem a little hasty. But at the same time, I think they're seeing like this vaccine works pretty fucking well. The numbers aren't like drastically going up as soon as because I've seen it. Like people are going out more. People are not wearing masks as much. It's definitely, and it makes me uncomfortable. I can't even yell at these people anymore because it's like, yeah, I mean, I guess they did say you don't have to wear them. Even like store clerks aren't wearing their masks anymore, which is just so fucking weird. But whatever. I am fully of the opinion though that like we either. I've been saying this from the beginning. We needed to barrel down hard. So then we could relax hard because you either need to go all the way in or not go in at all. And yeah, I think right now, actually, what the move would be right now that everyone's starting to get vaccinated is to quarantine really fucking hard right now. Quarantine really hard right now that the numbers are really low and just fucking eradicate this thing.
Shut down. Give it a shutdown for 2 weeks.
That's not gonna. 2 weeks. I'd say fuck it. Let's lock down like we locked down last year for a month, and maybe even a little harder, and then we'll just call it good. Pandemic over,
dude. We said this. We said this on the show before the middle of the pandemic. I believe it was in the fall. I believe that we should shut the world down for 1 month every year, because look how Mother Nature loved that. We stopped driving our cars for 1 month. The dolphins came back, and the swans returned to the waterways in France. I think that we should have an Earth month, not an Earth Day, an Earth month. Now we have established during this pandemic that we can work from home. We can continue to work from home. You know what I mean? So the government will send out some subsidiary payments to those that are in the hospitality industry. If you're in the hospitality industry, you can file for a Earth Day deferment or whatever they want to call it, because you had to lose work for a month because the hospitality industry will shut down for a month when everybody stays home. If you're an actor, okay, you don't get a little extra pension. You just have an extra month to study your lines. If you're in a band, you got an extra month to pluck your strings.
If only it was that simple.
We shut down the world for 1 month. And those that are in certain industries that lose money, the government will subsidize their income for that 1 month. We've proven that we can cut fucking federal checks in under 2 weeks. We've proven that now.
Yeah. I think right now, though, you're right. It does seem like the pandemic is ending. I don't know. It's still, people are still kind of distancing and they're still.
I still am. I still am. Even after vaccination, I will still do it. I'm going to be one of those forever maskers. I will mask up when I'm around people that I do not know. If I'm in the grocery store, if I go to the mall, if I'm out and around the world, if I'm going to the gas station, I'm going to be one of those people that are going to be walking around here like I'm in fucking Beijing, China. I will have a mask on forever.
Yeah, I think like when conventions start, I'll probably wear a mask. Like if I go to a convention or something, I'll start to lax up on the mask. For right now, I'm still wearing the mask, just to, I don't know. It doesn't feel right to take it off yet. There's still COVID out there. It's not gone, but it is low.
Very low and continuing to drop.
Yeah. Well, it seems sort of plateaued.
At that 400 or 500 count, 400 or 500 case level every day.
Yeah, which is not too bad considering how high it was.
But the thing is, though, Jake, that 400 or 500 number that we've been hitting every day in Arizona, I believe I saw a report that says that those are more kids now than adults.
Right. Yeah. And the kids can't get the vaccine yet. Although we're talking about, I think they were talking about letting 12-year-olds get it soon.
Oh, no, 12-year-olds, they're already approved to do 12 to 17.
Is it? Well, I don't have a 12-year-old, so I don't really pay attention to that too much.
Yeah, I do. It's 12 and up.
You have a 12-year-old? Okay, Cory.
Well, I have kids, so I pay attention to
You forgot your kids were all grown, huh?
You know what? On purpose, Jake. On purpose. I forgot that they're grown. It hurts. On purpose.
It hurts.
It doesn't. No, it doesn't. It feels good. Running around the house naked, eating chicken.
Yeah, it looks like the country's at 40% vaccinated. Looking at the states here, the highest state right now is Vermont with 54%. And if you look at Vermont's numbers, and Maine at 54% as well, Connecticut at 52%. And if you look at the numbers of these states with really high vaccinations like these, the numbers of COVID are almost non-existent.
But they also have a very low population though.
Well,
the population in Vermont is less than the population in California.
Sure. Vermont is, But then you get down to Connecticut, which is at 52%, and they've got 2 million people in Connecticut, 3 million people, almost 4 million people in Massachusetts, and they're at 52%. And if you look at their numbers, there's definitely a correlation between vaccination and lower numbers. So as far as I know a lot of anti-vaxxers. Well, I don't want to say a lot, but I know some anti-vaxxers, and it's at what point do you start seeing literal hundreds of millions of people getting vaccinated, and you're still going to say, well, I don't trust it. At a certain point, it's well, it's obviously working. So I'm hoping as the numbers increase, more people are going to be oh, well, it's obviously working. I know a lot of people are I don't want to be the guinea pig. Well, how long until those people don't feel like they're the guinea pig anymore? I don't know. We'll see. But I think once we start seeing the more correlations, like, more red states, particularly like, what's the lowest here?
I think Mississippi is the lowest.
Yeah. And once Mississippi sees that theirs is so low and their COVID numbers are still so high, they're going to be like, well, maybe we should.
I think I want to call shenanigans on some of the anti-vaxxers. Mm-hmm. I'm thinking that some of these anti-vaxxers are just saving face. I think that, and what I base this on is the orange man. Yeah. He was so like against it, but when it came to his age group being allowed to get it, he rolled up his sleeve to his old wizened arm, and he got the vaccine. I think there are going to be anti-vaxxers out there that are going to sneak and get this vaccination, but still tout about anti-vaccine vaccines.
I'll take it if that's the case. I think as far as Trump goes, Trump is what I call a grifter. He's just going to say whatever appeals.
He's going to go wherever the wind blows him.
I don't think Trump is actually an anti-vaxxer. He's just saying what appeals to his fan base. You know what I mean? So,
but his words have power, and we see that from January 6th.
Yeah, that's true. And I can't believe we're still looking at like it. Anyway,
I know. It's absolutely it's ridiculous that you can literally. This is how hardened these motherfuckers in Washington are. Harder than the hardest criminals on death row. These motherfuckers' lives were put at stake, at risk. Their families' well-beings were put at risk. But because they wear the big R, they just won't bend. I don't get that. I just don't understand. You are really that dead set on being right that you won't even stand up to protect your own fucking family's well-being? Because a lot of those people, a lot of those congressmen and women that are on that hill that were in that Capitol on the day of the insurgents that are Republicans, they won't bend after you were attacked. That is some fucking insane mentality. There's something wrong and missing and loose in their brain.
Well, I think a lot of those guys, much like Trump, are grifters. And they probably are like, yeah, that was an insurrection. But I'm not going to admit that because that affects my voting base. These people are all full of shit. And they're all just trying to get the most votes. And that's all it is.
But their voting base clearly sees it differently than they do on certain issues, because if they didn't, Uncle Joe wouldn't be in office right now. Clearly, Uncle Joe had to have some of the base of Republicans go vote for him in order for him to become president. He couldn't do it alone on just all the Democrat vote. Some Republicans had to come over. So if the Republican congressmen that are, and I'm not saying all the Republican congressmen,
just
if the Republican congressmen that are holding out right now, I believe there was something like 60% of them, 60% of Republican congressmen have refused to pursue this insurrection. Clearly, some of their base sees it differently than they do. So they're not listening to a portion of their base. They're listening to a segment of their base.
Well, yeah,
and I think that's just setting that party up for future failures.
Yeah. Well, and that, you know what? Keep setting it up to fail. I don't care.
It's going to blow that party up.
That's fine. The more irrelevant they are, the better. I think they can keep eating their foot. Let them. It brings me back to the whole stimulus thing, because I think you're absolutely right. Like when the stimulus package happened, the $1,400 or whatever, when we voted on it, when the House voted on it, every Democrat voted yes on it, and every Republican voted no on it. It still passed because there's a Democratic edge, but when it was polled, it was something like 52% of the Republicans were for the stimulus package. So it's like, who are you voting for? Who is this party actually representing? And
exactly,
it's just a loud group of people that they're scared to poke the bear, I think.
Why?
They're scared of Tucker Carlson. They're scared of the big business owners like Elon Musk, who are obviously part of that whole thing. Like, they're scared of all that. That's where all their money comes from. They're scared of Trump. They're scared of all that. They're scared of being exposed as well.
They're scared of a guy that allegedly made his money from real estate. They're scared of a realtor.
Who's that?
At the
Trump?
end of the day, yeah, they're scared of a realtor when you really boil it down.
Hey man, scared
a guy
of money.
that did
well, and when you back Trump so hard for 4 years, and then you on a flip of the hat, you're like, maybe we should look into this. I could see how Republicans would be like, yeah, how can we trust that guy? And it's like, well, you can't.
But I don't remember.
They're all grifters. They're all grifters.
I don't remember any of this being done for any previous Republican president.
Because no previous Republican president caused an insurrection at the Capitol.
I don't get it. The thing is that it's not going to do anything by this party imploding upon itself. It's not going to do anything. I equate it to what's happening with cops. There are more good cops than there are bad cops. But the bad cops, the stupid cops, are making it harder for the good ones. And I think that that's happening in the Republican Party. There are good Republicans out there that are a little bit more level-headed, that want to make decisions, but because the majority of their party or a large group of their party are bad, it makes them look bad and it silences their voices because media and everybody else is going to pay attention to the grifters. They're going to pay attention to the trumpeters. And I'm not talking about Donald Trump. I'm talking about the ones that are out there blowing the trumpet for these stupid ass fucking causes. So the real Republicans can't really get anything done. Then now they're just all they're doing is inflating the numbers for the other party because people are. I mean, if we see another Republican president in the next 20 years, I'll be surprised.
At this point, yeah, but a lot can change in 4 years. So
I hope so because they need to get off the pot and I think
because here's the thing, for me, it's like if the Republican Party becomes irrelevant, another party will take its place. And
you're wanting them to implode? To continue to implode?
Yeah, the more irrelevant they are, I think the better. Because then the right, the party on the right that leans to the right is now the Democratic Party. And what takes over the left party is the AOC types, the Bernie types. And now we've got, the Democrats versus the leftists. And I'd much prefer that over fucking
do you lean left? How far do you lean left? Are you really far over left, or are you just leaning just a little bit to the left?
Let's be honest, though. Like Joe Biden, anywhere else in the world, well, not anywhere else, but in a lot of the world, would be considered on the right. He's not. Yeah, he's not like.
He would.
He's not like a socialist. He's a very like center of the road guy. But he seems very progressive because that's how authoritarian the Republican Party has become. And, it's
sad.
And that's why I'm like, fuck them, dude. Like, the more irrelevant they are, the better. The problem is that they're not irrelevant. You could look at Tucker Carlson's fucking ratings. That dude gets ratings somehow. People watch him. People like him. And that's why the Republican politicians are scared because they see those numbers. They see the numbers on Tucker Carlson's show. They see the numbers on Ben Shapiro's shows or whatever. And they're scared.
They see the numbers, but they don't understand the numbers. They're not understanding the numbers. Just because Tucker Carlson's ratings are through the roof doesn't mean that ratings don't equate full support of everything he's saying. You have to realize I would imagine, matter of fact, I promise you that there is a high percentage of those people that are watching Tucker Carlson waiting for the train wreck, waiting for something that he says so that they can run with it. They're not watching him because they're supporting him. They're watching him because they're waiting for the fucking bomb to go. They're waiting for the other shoe to drop. And of course, that's going to push the numbers up. So if the Republican Party really, the portion of the Republican Party that's afraid of Tucker Carlson, if they understood that there's probably more people watching him for him to fuck up than there are watching him that are actually listening and engaged, they would probably not have so much fear for this motherfucker. They're giving him power he most likely really does not have.
I would argue that, a vast majority, I think, of Tucker Carlson's viewers are probably actually Tucker Carlson fans. Maybe not the YouTube views, but the TV views for sure. But I think the difference is I think a lot of people on the other side have just they either don't participate in the discourse as much, or they have a wider net of places that they go that they get their information from. You know what I mean? So they're not getting all their information from Anderson Cooper. They're not getting all their information from Brian Williams or whatever the fuck, whatever the counter to Tucker Carlson is. It's if I need information,
John Tesh,
right? Someone on the other side, it's I need information on COVID. I'm going to go look at what Fauci's saying. If I need information on, social programs, I'm going to look at whoever, instead of getting all my information from this one spot, which I think a lot of Republicans are I get all my information from Tucker. I get all my information from Ben Shapiro. I get all my jokes from Steven Crowder or whatever. That I think that plays a role in it as well.
I don't understand when the politicians become fucking afraid of a talking head. At the end of the day, Tucker Carlson is reading a fucking teleprompter from a room of 5 people that have probably wrote shit for him. Then he throws in some ideology idea because he wants to get the clickbait, because he wants to get the GIF, he wants to get the social media hits. You know what I mean? And then at the end of the day, he goes home and he sleeps. And these fucking politicians are scared of that. They're scared of a news reporter. They're scared of a guy that was a former radio guy.
Yeah.
Come on.
Well, and before him,
really?
it was Bill O'Reilly, who used to be the host of Entertainment Tonight. Come on.
And Rush Limbaugh.
Yeah.
He was a big scaredy cat. They're radio guys at the end of the day with a piece of glass in front of them.
Yeah.
If they say something, it only has power if you give it to it.
Well, and to go back to your point about most Republicans being good, I would argue, most Republicans, they want what's best for their family and their friends, but the
bad outweigh the good.
But I'd say every Republican politician is a piece of shit, almost all of them. You know what I mean? I'd say every Republican is probably either ill-informed, ignorant, or they just have these couple things. I want to be charitable to what they understand. I'd love to have a conversation with someone about it and see why. What is it that after?
When did it become so vile?
What was it over the past 4 years? After seeing everything that happened over the past 4 years, specifically the last year, 2020, after all of that, what makes you want to remain a Republican? And I'm not even saying come be a Democrat, go, but why are you still backing Trump specifically? Why are you still backing Ted Cruz? It's just so confusing to me. And then these are the same people that are oh, you guys are just tribalist. And it's I don't know. I think you guys are. I think you guys are the ones being tribal, I don't get it. I don't understand it. I'm with you on that. I don't understand why would you want to still be a part of something that's bad? That's why I say something's missing in their brains. Yeah.
You really want to continue your agenda because of an R? Because of a group? You're that afraid to stand alone? You're afraid to be ostracized?
Yeah,
I mean, you want to talk about that's shit that you hear in other countries. That politicians are afraid to go against lead politicians even when they're out of the office. That's shit that happens in third world countries. Not in the United States of America. If anything, this country is built on the fact that you can fuck up and rebound. It's time for this party to fucking rebound.
Yeah,
and they're not doing it.
If the Republican Party wants to completely like change how they their outlook on things, fucking great, dude. But like, it's so I don't know how you do it at this point. You know,
it won't happen. The only way it's going to happen, Jake, is a whole new fresh group.
Yeah,
we're going to have to pull in a whole new fresh crop of them.
But it's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen. We got old people in there that have got old money that goes back hundreds and hundreds of years. And it's a bad thing because I have friends that
trickle down, baby,
that are Republicans, and they struggle with some of the things that the party is doing. I don't get it. Now, I'm not saying that the Democrat Party is all spotless. There's some fuck ups over here on that side too.
It's just that the Republican Party makes it so hard to
ignore it. You can't.
They make it like I really, really want to talk shit about the Democratic Party because they suck. They suck. But the Republican Party makes it so hard. They make it so hard. And you know, a lot of people say, you know, I won't vote for either person, you know, when it came to Hillary and Trump, and then Biden and Trump, and it's like I don't want to vote for either out of principle. And you know, I don't think that's a good move either. I think the best move is always, you know, what's the best utility? Like what's going to serve the country the best? I mean, utilitarian. As dark as that may sound to say, it's like, you know, sometimes you gotta pick the lesser of two evils, I guess. And
yeah, that's where I was going to go with it. Who's the lesser of the two evils? Vote your morals, you know. And if it's really that bad that neither one of those line up with your morals, you might need to check your morals.
That's true. That's true.
You know, but it's heartening because as an American, seeing a party, I mean, the two you've talked about the two party system is a disaster from the beginning, but to see a party like the Republican Party that has had great historical moments in American history, to see them now just implode around one orange dude, I just don't get it.
True.
The Republican Party, I've voted for Republican presidents in the past.
They've been on that trajectory for a while though, you know?
Man, but somebody's got to realize that it's a fucking trajectory of a snowball right into the gates of hell.
Yeah. Like, you know, the first president I could vote for was Obama. So I don't have like a long voting history when it comes to voting for presidents. But
okay, we get it, Jake. You're young. I'm old. Thank you for pointing that out. I'm old. My tits sag. My balls are on my knees. I know.
I have voted in 3 elections. But, you know, even going way back to Reagan, you know, like it's it's so funny that these guys, I made a post today. These guys are always like, you know, these sportsmen should stop talking politics. These actors and celebrities should stop, you know, talking politics. And then you're like, hey, who's your favorite president? And most of them are going to say Ronald Reagan. You mean the actor?
Right. Yeah.
These guys love clout. Like, that's their whole position. Whoever has the most clout. That's why Donald Trump won. Because he had the most clout, you know? I really think that's what it is. I think whoever has the most clout is going to win the Republican Party every single time.
Whoever had them, I think Trump won not just because of his clout, but because of laziness. I think that the Democrat Party was lazy and thought that Hillary was just going to slide her cankles right in there.
Yeah, that's part of it.
There was a lot of lackadaisical attitude.
Just thinking about the primaries, as far as the Republicans go, like Trump is going to win that every single time because he has the most clout. Reagan won that because he had the most clout. He's the most name recognition. It's easy to market that. And that's all they care about is name recognition. That's it, you know? So, I mean, the Democrats aren't much better. We had fucking Biden and Hillary. But we did have Obama. Who the fuck was that until he became president?
Yeah, that's very true. I was thinking about that. I'm like, we never heard of this Barack Obama before he became president.
Yeah, he was just some
I don't
senator.
even remember his ass in the fucking presidential debate when the Democrats were looking to see who was going to be the nominee. I don't even remember him debating. Was he even there?
He was.
I'm sure he was, but he never stood out. It's kind of like when I'm watching The Voice on NBC. There's some people that make it into the finals. I'm like, I don't even remember who the fuck that is.
Yeah, and even George Bush Jr., he had the most clout. Name recognition.
W.
Yeah.
W.
Name recognition. John McCain.
I miss W.
It's sad when it's W that you miss.
It is sad. Well, I miss W because he was the most entertaining.
He was fun. He should have been a stand-up. Yeah.
He took the joke. Late night television was at its highest when W was in office.
That's true. We had Jay Leno,
so many people went after him. And it was the greatest.
You heard about this?
It was the greatest thing. And Jay Leno would slam him, then he'd be on Jay Leno. Dave Letterman would slam him, he'd be on Letterman. I mean, he took the joke. He had so many freaking presidential gaffes. It was hilarious. I like W because he was entertaining. Yeah. Obama was just too fucking normal.
I love hearing him talk. I think he's a great speaker, though.
He's a great speaker, and I'm actually taking a piece of one of his speeches that he gave back in 2011 for an upcoming promotion that we're doing for Fat Guy. I'll keep it, close to the vest. Maybe I'll share it with you after the show. But I love him. He's a great dynamic speaker, but as a president, he was, he was just a president.
Well, and that's the thing, and I think it's going to happen after Biden, and it's kind of scary. But like what happened after Obama is like, this is what happens when we get a liberal president, right? We get just sort of nothing changes, everything's the same, business as usual, very minor progression. Obviously, gay marriage was legalized. That's a huge deal. Can't be understated. But it was very, as far as like help towards the working class, not much changed. He did get us out of recession, but like it was just sort of basic. So much so that when he left office, who we had as a replacement, who everyone sort of was backing, was Bernie Sanders. A very different kind of candidate for the Democratic Party. Very, very different. And Trump. Two very different candidates. And this is going to happen again after Biden's either first or second term. I don't know if he's going to live. He's going to probably live. I don't know if he's going to run again. But like, I think we're going to see like two very weird candidates again. But what the Democratic Party needs to do is let that weird candidate actually fucking be the guy instead of suppressing him like they did when it was Hillary Clinton. Because in 2020, when Bernie was up again, he had lower numbers in the primary than he did when it was Hillary Clinton. And that's because dealing with Trump for 4 years, we were kind of like, let's do a little bit more of a moderate candidate. Right. But after Obama, it's like, let's get a more progressive guy in here to shake things up. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? I don't know.
It does.
Kind of rambling. I'm kind of rambling.
It's like it's like a ping pong game.
Yeah,
they go from one drastic to another drastic. Unfortunately, the last 4 years they went a little too drastic. In my opinion, they just went way too far. By them going too drastic, and by the Democratic Party going too dormant, we got what we got.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? We got what we got in the orange one because of two extreme circumstances meeting in the middle. It's like when two atoms come together, there's an explosion.
Who's Adam?
And two atoms, ATOMS, you boob. Hey, I'm not a scientist, but I am a nuclear physicist.
Which is not a scientist.
Which is not a scientist.
I wanted to bring up. I've been scrolling through YouTube has these YouTube shorts now. It's sort of
don't do that. Don't scroll.
Okay. Hear me out though. Okay, so that's sort of their version of TikTok. Every once in a while, I'll click on it. I'll scroll through TikTok, and I just want to say, Zoomers are fucking weird, man. The Zoomers?
What the hell is a Zoomer?
That's the generation below millennial. That's like the how old would they be? 14 to 22-year-olds?
The idiots.
I mean, I respect them. I like them. They're weird. They're weird kids. They're strange. They're doing weird shit on the TikTok and the YouTubes. They do weird things, like they'll post a video of them, like they'll cut open a like a glow stick. They put it in a balloon, fill the rest of it up with water. Then they put it in the freezer. Then they cut it open, and they're like, "Isn't that weird?" That's it. Like, it's just like a piece of ice, and they're like, "Isn't that weird?" And that's the whole video. Or I saw one that was like, I've also seen like a bunch of these where it's like, here's a cooking tutorial, and it's like so obviously a fake cooking tutorial, and they just like do the grossest shit, and then they're like, isn't that delicious? And it's just like, what is this? Is this a joke? Is it serious? What's happening right now?
Jesus. And these motherfuckers are going to be voting in the next 8 years.
They already voted. They already voted.
Doomed. We're doomed.
I like them. They're weird. I respect them. I don't want to be the
we don't need weird. We need smart. Where are those smart ones?
I don't want to be the old guy that's like, those kids. But I do want to say,
I'm the old guy.
You guys are weird as fuck, man. Like,
you guys are fucking weird.
The ones that are really strange are like, hey, let's pull a prank, and they're like the most like harmless pranks where it's like they'll like pour water on a person or whatever. But it's so obvious. It's so obviously fake because like they'll be right behind them and being like, hey, we're gonna pull a prank on this person, like right in earshot of the person that they're gonna pull the prank on, and like that's the whole video. It's so weird, man. These
and then dude, have you seen the ones that are the prank videos? I see them on the Book of Faces. Okay, I've seen them on the Book of Faces. It's a prank video where there's a guy that's going to connect a bungee to a security officer's belt. And then he's going to run in front of the security officer. And when the security officer tries to chase him, the security officer is going to get bungee back into place. But the fucking video's 9 minutes long of this guy just stalking him. And 9 minutes long of the person behind the cell phone or the video camera giggling their ass off, knowing damn well they're within earshot of this oblivious security guard. Zoomers, y'all are fucking weird.
They're all so weird, dude. And like also TikTok is like so many like quote unquote girls being hot, but like it's like they're just like doing weird shit with their faces, and like they're just so weird. I don't understand them. I don't get them. I wish I did. Zoomers, reach out to me. Like, I want to know what the fuck's your deal. What went wrong?
Reach out to Jake, because if you reach out to me, I'm just going to slap your parents.
Oh, come on.
Reach out
They're not
to
that
Jake.
bad. They're not like...
They're dumb. They're dumb, and then they're going to have babies, and their babies are going to be dumb.
Of course they're dumb. They're like 18. Of course they're dumb. But like they're weird, And I don't think they're like a problem to society. They all seem pretty
Not yet.
They all seem like pretty, normal for the most
But are
part.
the Zoomers that are getting the most traction with the thousands and thousands of hits, are they just pretty white people?
I'd say it's pretty diverse.
No. I guarantee it's not. Pretty white people.
I think it's way more diverse. It's way more diverse with the Zoomers than it was with the millennials, for sure.
Oh, by the way, I'm not a bloomer or boomer. I am actually considered a geriatric millennial.
Yeah.
Have you heard of that?
Millennial goes from 81 to 96. So
I'm a geriatric millennial.
Yeah.
So thank you. I'm not a boomer. You like to call me a boomer because you're all young and spry and full of life, and I'm all decrepit and wheelchair bound.
That is something that happens a lot, where like people just call old people boomers, even though boomers are like in their 70s.
Yeah, and I'm in my 70s, but I'm not a boomer.
Yeah, because there is actually a generation between millennial and boomer. There's the Gen Xers.
Geriatric millennials, which is where I am. I'm a geriatric.
You're a Gen Xer for real?
Yes.
Oh, you were born in the 70s?
Maybe. I was 1870. I'm old, Jake. We've established that. Thank you.
Such a mystery. Such a mystery.
You are a mystery. No, you're a mystery. I hear what you're saying. I don't take hold or give time to the Zoomer videos. I can't. I
try to stay in with the kids. You know, I try to stay up with the kids. You know,
because you're one of them, Jake. You're one of them.
I'm almost 30, dude.
Look at that little baby face on that Jakey.
Just because I have braces, dude. Come on, give me a break.
Don't mention the braces because it makes me think inappropriate, unholy things. Nevertheless,
there's like food caught all up in there. That really gets me going.
That's hot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, revving up the engine now, Jakey Poo.
Little pizza for later.
I wouldn't bring that up right now because I was just I went to my first outing and I got groped.
Oh yeah? How'd that go?
Yeah, that was great.
Tell me about that.
It was. I'm not going to tell you about it on the show, but it was great. Thank you very much. I got groped. I forgot what it felt like. I got groped, Jake, and I immediately completed. It has been that long.
Someone grazed my hand and I came in the pool.
It may or may not have been the wind. I don't know, but it was a sensation that I have not had in 15 months. I thanked whoever it was or whatever it was.
I opened the door and
yeah, the doorknob just had my name on it. You know, that towel swinging on the wall just had my name on it. The cat.
Insert a Lonely Island's came in my pants.
It's interesting about the Zoomers. I don't know. TikTok. The only thing about TikTok that I follow is that I found a secret deep dark web Twitter TikTok of TikTok gone wrong, I think is what it's called. And it's basically,
I love those.
This is TikTok nudes.
Oh. Is that allowed?
TikTok. I don't think it's allowed. I think it's like they go and they do a TikTok nude, and before TikTok can rip it down, this Twitter handle grabs it.
Oh, it's on Twitter.
And then posted it on Twitter. Yeah, dude, yeah. Twitter is full of TNA and P.
Yeah, Twitter.
Tits, ass, and penises on Twitter.
Twitter has definitely become like my social media of choice, for sure.
I love Twitter. There is so much TAP on Twitter. I'm proud of Twitter. And I don't actively use Twitter myself because I'm on there, just looking at TA and P. So I don't want to, set up an algorithm or get some metadata going on. So I just, I may or may not have a couple of secret Twitter accounts that are out there with, faceless images, just so I can look at the TA and P and follow accounts that I would never tell anybody about.
The reason I like Twitter so much is because, compared to like Facebook and Instagram specifically, those two, like over the past few months, have gotten so like filled with ads. It's like insane.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
Like it's crazy. I don't even like see my friends' posts anymore. Like I just see ads. It's like I don't even want to be on here then.
Try running a business page, bruh. We go even deeper under your fucking. So now you've got the Twitter, you got the regular ads.
Yeah.
Then you got your friends post, then you got business posts, and the only way that you can get on top of all of that is to fucking pay.
Yep.
And then even when you get on top of that, if you don't pay as much as the other ads have paid, you're still under their ads. And nobody is going to scroll 1,500 times down Facebook to see your fucking business post.
And then like Instagram is like probably has become the worst. I used to really like Instagram because it was just Facebook, but pictures only. And I'm all about that.
Yep.
And, but now it's like you'll scroll through two things and it's like, you're all caught up. Here's some suggested posts. And I'm like, I'm not all caught up. I didn't see shit. And now I'm just like looking at advertisements. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about? But Twitter has none of that. It's just like, these are just all the people I follow on Twitter. And
I think I fucked up my Instagram algorithm, though, because I clicked on one Instagram sponsor ad and that sponsor person had an OnlyFans page. So now all my sponsor ads are other Instagram accounts with OnlyFans pages. So now every sponsor ad is somebody with an OnlyFans link in their bio. And I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I feel like all social medias have gotten pretty. I mean, they've always been bad, but I mean, as far as like ads and stuff go, like they've gotten really bad.
But we can't avoid it. What are you going to do? Run an ad for your business in the fucking yellow pages? We can't avoid it. We're stuck with it. We have to use it. You have to capitalize on it.
I don't have a problem with ads. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm fine with ads.
I do. I fucking hate it.
Well, I don't like ads, but I understand the necessity of ads. But, like, it's just, like, there's so much ads that I'm not even seeing my friends' posts, which is the whole reason I come on here. You know? It's like, over the top with the ads.
Yeah. You can't even see pictures of your friend's cat.
Yeah. I don't get to see my friends, you know, bitching about their breakup or whatever, which is what I want on Facebook, you know?
That's exactly what you want on Facebook.
Yeah. But that's why I like Twitter so much, because it's like I follow people on Twitter, and that's all I see on my Twitter feed is the people I follow.
Do you have a secret Twitter handle?
No.
You don't have a Twitter handle that's like, you know, because you can have multiple accounts on Twitter.
Yeah.
On the Twitter app.
No, I don't feel a necessity for that. I'm an open book.
No, I'm not. I have a hidden Twitter account.
I don't care.
Because, you know,
I think I follow some porn stars, like whatever. You know?
No, I'm not following porn stars. I'm following smut motherfuckers. I mean, I'm following these motherfuckers that are like taking cheese graters and rubbing them across their nips. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That's
shitting on each other's face. Yeah.
Yeah, sitting on each other's faces and pissing down each other's throats. That's the kind of shit that I'm following.
Two girls, one cup. Yeah.
2 girls, 1 horse. What are you fucking talking about? You know, it's like I am out there and I can't have a, you know, big Twitter account, you know, that everybody knows. You know what I'm saying? So I have to have some covert Twitter handles. You know what I'm saying? I may or may not have some COVID. I may not have some covert Instagram handles too. You never know. You just never know, because there's just shit out there you want to see, but you don't want anybody to know that you're looking.
I'm an open book. People, I don't care. I comment on everything.
Jake, you are not an open
publicly.
book. You're a fucking glued page encyclopedia.
Yeah, just because you came on them.
So at the pool party, no, I did go out. My first time I ventured outside of the house. I saw the sun.
Here comes the sun, dude.
I saw the sun. It was great. It was nice. It was a little fun. It was only for a couple hours, about an hour and a half, 2 hours of time that I went out. I ventured out because the CDC accidentally ended the pandemic.
I had a big outing last week as well. The reason we didn't have a show, actually,
because of you.
Yeah, it was definitely my fault.
And I totally knew what you were doing. I'm like, oh, that explains it.
Yeah, me and about 9 other people got together
that are allegedly vaccinated. We'll see what happens in a week.
Allegedly, I'm pretty confident they are. I don't think they'd lie to me. These are all my friends.
Can you be that confident in your friends?
Yeah.
And I guarantee you that I know some of the people that were in that party. There are some liars.
Yeah. No.
Especially that tall, sexy drink of water. Liar.
No, I remember when Nick got his
why you gotta call his name out, man?
Well,
why you gotta put his business out there?
Nick is part of the Loner Cast, so we're allowed to call him out.
But I was about to say inappropriate shit about him, and then you identified him, and now I can't do it because I'm scared of his girl.
Yeah, check out the Loner Gamecast every Monday live.
I'm tired of you plugging your other fucking products and shit.
No, I remember when Nick got his, because he was kind of down for the count for a day.
Where did they stick him?
Oh, right in the dickhead. It was crazy.
Oh, yeah. No, we have a new term now that I'm going to make this trend. It's not called, it's not called the penis. It's not called the dick. It's called the dick meat.
Dick meat. Yeah, they got him in the
dick meat.
Yeah.
Yeah, they stabbed him. They injected the vaccine right in his dick.
They actually pulled on the foreskin and did it right in the foreskin.
Okay, that's a half chub. Nevertheless, dude, I believe that there are some people that are in your party that are liars.
No, I don't think so, but we'll see. But we got together, and over the course of 2 days, we watched 9 Fast and Furious movies.
You texted me about this, and I could not have been more disengaged from a text message.
Oh my god!
Ever in my life, I didn't even want to engage. That you were doing this, because I'm like, oh my god, you really have nothing going on right now.
I hadn't watched one in I don't know 10 years, and so I didn't know what to expect. Oh, what a great time though. They start off as just like your basic racing movies, right? by the seventh one, there. The Rock is in the hospital through the whole movie, and at the end of the movie, he's like, "They need my help," and he gets up. He's wearing a cast on his arm, and he breaks the cast. He just goes and rips the cast off, and he looks at his daughter and he says, "Daddy's got to go to work."
How hacky! Oh my god,
so good. And then in the fifth one, they
there's 5.
There's 9 of them, and
you watched all 9 of them.
So there's 8 of them, and then a spinoff called Hobbs and Shaw, and the 9th one comes out next month, and that's kind of why we're watching all of them. But in the 5th one, they get their sports cars, they tether their sports cars to a bank vault. They pull the bank vault out with their sports car and destroy cop cars with the bank vault.
Jesus, dude.
Dude, they get so ridiculous. Oh my god, they're great movies. They're great fun. I had a lot of fun watching them.
Well, I'm glad you had.
They're bad.
A good time.
Let me clarify, they're bad, but you know
they are very bad. But you know what? Sometimes bad movies they're
fun.
Good movies.
Yeah.
Same thing like podcasts. Some bad podcasts are good podcasts.
Yeah, it was good. This podcast was great until I started talking about Fast and Furious, I think. No comment.
No comment. I had something that I was going to bring up to you, but we're at the end of the show, and I don't remember what it was anyway.
Okay. Well,
and I want to get back to the pool party because we're waiting for me to return. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, I was like, oh, okay. I mean,
no. It's over. I had my fun. That's enough for me. I'm good for the next 2 months.
Next week I am going out of town, so we will be missing another week of the show.
Bye, Felicia.
Yeah.
And Jake is going out of town, and I don't care enough to do the show when he's not here.
That's true. Yeah. He could get.
I can't find anybody else named Jake.
You could get a co-host if you wanted to do that, but I know Cory's not going to do that.
But that's effort. And again, I will rewind to the beginning of the show. This is the only show I do for free.
That's true. That's true.
That sounds like a really horse-assery thing. I'm not a horse's ass, folks. Jake is gone. I would not do the show with anybody else but him. There are a few things in my life that I only want to do with Jake.
Yeah, so I'm out of town next week, but we'll be back the following week.
Maybe.
Also, I will be missing another show at the end of the month as well, but you know, it is what it is.
And ladies and gentlemen, this is the hour where the Jake and Cory podcast becomes the Republican Party. It's starting to implode.
Yeah. It's just a crazy month. We've got E3 coming out, so
Jake can't control his life, folks.
Yeah, E3 is happening this month, so that's going to be really exciting over on the Loner Gamecast, so you should definitely come check out the Loner Gamecast. I'm going to be streaming all the conferences I can if I'm not working for E3. So make sure you follow me on Twitch, twitch.tv/lonercast. They'll be re-uploaded to the YouTube channel, but I do them live over on Twitch. Yeah, make sure you check out the Loner Gamecast live every Monday at 3:30 Pacific time, and it's posted everywhere else on Tuesday. This show is posted every Monday, and we're still doing spoiler casts. And I've got a new chick flick show coming out soon, so definitely check that out. Lots of fun things happening on the channel. So yeah, check all that stuff out. Any final thoughts, Cory?
Yes, I'm debating whether I want to go to Carl's Jr. Oh, that's what I was gonna bring up to you. Oh, maybe next week or next time on the Jake and Cory podcast. Same Jake and Cory channel, same Jake and Cory time.
Jake and Cory.
Jesus, end this show. 5, 6, 7, something.